Hi everyone, welcome to Zainat session on Andhra Pradesh Competent Authority Quota or the state government quota seats. Andhra Pradesh has two counselings, one Andhra Pradesh government quota counselling or the Competent Authority Quota counselling, usually it is called CQ counselling, which is for 50% of AP government quota seats, government institute seats and 50% of private institutes of seats of AP, which is usually called as CAT A seats. These are only for AP local or AP non-local candidates, not open. So if you are looking at the open seats of Andhra Pradesh counselling, basically those seats are which are available on an all India basis. There might be very limited number of seats, but if you are looking at the open seats of AP counselling, which is for CAT B, then you will have to apply for Andhra Pradesh Management Quota counselling as on date. Today is 19th September. It has not started yet. Andhra Pradesh government quota is open now. You don't need to apply if you are not falling under the eligibility criteria we are mentioning now for the government quota seats. We look at the eligibility, application, certificates required, and then the round-wise rules and choice filling and allotment rules, joining, upgradation and exit rules, we'll take it up separately for the subscribers, exclusive for subscribers. You will have those videos. We also have the Andhra Pradesh demo run today, so you will be able to see that demo for registration and then make the complete the registration process. Now we look at the seats of Andhra Pradesh. What are the seats that come under the Andhra Pradesh government quota? 50% of seats in government medical colleges in Andhra Pradesh. The other 50% goes into all India quota. The rest come in. 50% of seats in Siddhartha Medical College. This was a statewide institute. Right now it is only in Andhra Pradesh. All the seats of Siddhartha Medical College, other than those that go into AAQ, come in Andhra Pradesh. 50% of seats in private medical colleges in Andhra Pradesh. This is what CAT A is. The fee structure is around 4.96 lakhs or so per annum. There is a court case going on. We had explained it last year too. We will also try to do something if there is an update this year. As of now, there is no update. 50% of seats in SVIMS Tirupati. This is Sri Venkateshwara Institute of Management Medical Sciences Tirupati, and in SVIMS Tirupati 50% goes into all India quota, even though it comes under TTD. The rest 50% is under Andhra Pradesh State Counselling. It has a specific fee structure and also a specific stipend, etc., higher stipend. So please look at that information. Who is qualified? Any candidate who is UR above or EWS above 50% is qualified. Any candidate who is UR above 45% is qualified. Note that BCA, BCB, BCC, BCD, BCE are the backward class qualification categorizations in Andhra Pradesh. If you belong to any of these categories in Andhra Pradesh, or if you belong to SC, ST category in Andhra Pradesh, if you are above 50%, 40%, then you will be eligible. Note that you might have been applied as OBC NCL or as general in All India Counselling, in NEET PG examination, and therefore you will apply as that in All India Counselling. This has nothing to do with Andhra Pradesh backward class categorization. SC ST certificates from Andhra Pradesh, if you have 40% and above, you are eligible. BCA BCB certificates, even if you mentioned as Gen over here, if you have a BCA BCB certificate or BCC BCD BCE certificate, you will still be eligible if you are above 235 marks. That is if you are above 40%. So the criteria does not depend upon you what you mentioned in your NEET PG examination. EWS reservation was not applicable till last year because prospectus says that if there are any seats which are sanctioned by EWS for EWS by the government, then it will be applicable. Specific sanction has not happened. All the information here is 2025, but some of them are 2024 references. 2025 only the prospectus is available. Based on that we have defined. Based on that we are going ahead with it. With the entire info guide. If there are any changes later in the notifications, then we'll go with currently 2025 prospectus with 2024 what happened is what we are looking at. There are multiple GOs that they have come up with after the 2024 counselling session was done. 2025 has had changes in respect to some of the criteria for Siddhartha Medical College, the local criteria, local rules, and some of the criteria for in-service candidates, etc. We've gone through everything, and this is a summation of whatever changes have happened. Now, right now, we look at specifically who is local and who is non-local. This is something that you might need to go through as a candidate. Forget the seats, what seats you get. I am a candidate. Will I be eligible for Andhra Pradesh? Will be explained in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Take time to understand it. If you already understood it, skip it. You know clearly I am AU local, I am SVU local, skip it. And then go on to the application process. This is required because there is a lot of confusion. First, if you are an MBBS from AU region, AU has the Andhra Pradesh has a local criteria where based on the last qualified examination and the last few years, 4 years or 7 years, where you studied or where you stayed, you might be able to get eligibility. Where you studied is relevant for PG because it is based on qualifying examination as MBBS. So if you are an MBBS from AU region, what is AU region? If you are an MBBS from any one of these institutes, then you will be considered as an MBBS from AU region, because those institutes come under Andhra University region districts. The districts that come under Andhra University region are mentioned, and the institutes that are there under those districts are MBBS from AU region. If you are an MBBS from AU region, basically those institutes, irrespective of whichever state you are a domicile of, you are eligible for AU local seats. Fine. You might be from another state, you might have done your MBBS from AU region institute, you are still eligible for AU local. You are eligible as a AU local candidate here. You are talking about candidates, so you are an AU local candidate. What is an AU local candidate eligible for? Later, you will apply as an AU local candidate. Eligible to apply for AP government quota? Yes. The seats that you are eligible for are listed over here. We will come to the seats later, but right now define who you, what local, whether you are local or non-local. If I am an MBBS from SVU region, right now who's an MBBS from SVU region? Any of these institutes, if you have studied, you are an MBBS from SVU region. If you are an MBBS from SVU region, any domicile, you are SVU local. Yes, you are eligible for AP government quota for these seats. Next, if you are an MBBS from Siddhartha Medical College, Siddhartha is a state-wide institute. So in this scenario, irrespective of wherever you are domicile from, your local status will depend upon whether you are AU local or SVU local at the time of admissions. See, at the time of MBBS, when you applied, you might have been AU local or SVU local. That will define whether you are AU local or SVU local now, not Siddhartha. So if you have been an OU local and then got into Siddhartha Medical College, you are not eligible now for Andhra Pradesh as a local candidate. You are not eligible. You will not come under this criteria. Otherwise, if you have applied as AU local, 7 years you studied 6 to 12th and then applied as AU local during MBBS in Siddhartha, then AU local. So that depends upon which state you are from. Depending upon that, your eligibility will be defined. AU local or SB local, will come to that. Then any state other than AP, if you are a state from another state, including foreign medical graduates. So I have done my MBBS from any other state. If you are from another state, MBBS from any other state, then if you fall under the non-local criteria, we'll mention the non-local criteria, then you are eligible as non-local. So any one of these you are eligible for non-local, but you are eligible only for a very small percentage of seats over here. So that is how it works. So non-local eligibility criteria, who is eligible for non-local? Somebody who is an MBBS from these regions obviously will apply as local. If not, those who have resided in Andhra Pradesh for 10 years excluding of period of study outside state. You've gone outside the state for some studies purposes, but you have resided for 10 years in the state of Andhra Pradesh, you get a residence certificate of 10 years and you will be eligible as an AP non-local. This includes candidates who might have studied MBBS in Telangana or other states. Candidates whose parents, any one of the parent has resided in AP for 10 years, excluding the period of employment outside. Other than that, if they have studied. Or candidate whose parents or spouse, even if your spouse is employed in state government, central government, PSU, local bodies and other similar quasi-public. Quasi-public is like public institutions where government has a stake. So quasi-public institutions like PSUs, etc. Then in Andhra Pradesh, then you are eligible. If your parents or spouse is working there, you need to get an employment certificate. Candidates who are employed in the state government, you yourself are employed in the state government undertakings, public sector, corporations, local bodies, universities, etc. and other similar quasi-public institutions, then you are eligible for AP non-local status. And candidates who are spouses of local candidates, anybody who is a local here, if you are married to them, then you are eligible for non-local status. So anybody who comes under this will be eligible. Let us say I am from Andhra Pradesh. I did my MBBS in a state, Karnataka, but I resided in Andhra Pradesh for 10 years, or my parents have been residing in Andhra Pradesh for 10 years. Then you are eligible for non-local. So you will be able to apply for non-local. You won't come under this local criteria because you did your MBBS from Karnataka, but you might be eligible under this criteria. You will have to produce the required certificates. Now we'll come to this here very clearly. How are the seats split? The seats are split this way. AU region institute. These are all institutes in AU region. Let us say they offer PG seats and some of them might go into All India Counselling. So basically 50% of these seats would only, whether it is government or private, 50% will come under the government quota. So that seat is available. Let us say there are 100 seats, such seats in an institute, which is under the Andhra Pradesh government quota. Under AU region, in these institutes, NRI Medical College has 100 seats. Under PG, 85% of these seats will be reserved for AU local candidates. Somebody who was a AU local, that candidate only will get 85% because this is an AU institute. Rest 15% of seats are reserved for both non-local and non-local candidates. So local is here, AU local can also get this 15%, SVU local can also get this 15%, and non-local candidates can also get this 15%. These are termed as unreserved seats. Everybody is eligible. All those who are in that eligibility criteria are eligible. Similarly, if I take up the SVU region institute, let us say this SV Medical College has 100 seats, then 85% or 85 seats will be available only for SVU local candidates because it is SVU region, and the rest 15% is available for both local and non-local candidates as unreserved seats. So all of them in the list, whoever we mentioned earlier, will be eligible for this and this. If they are AU local, only for this, and SVU local only for this as of now. Now next we go into the next medical college, which is Siddhartha Medical College. As we said, it is a statewide institute. Currently only AP has seats. After the reorganization, 10 years after reorganization, now only AP has seats. Telangana has no seats, which means no seats under the Telangana counselling. It's all seats under the AP counselling. And within that, 85%, let us say Siddhartha has 100 seats. We know that 85% should go to local. But here local is an issue, right? Because Siddhartha was an institute which was a statewide institute. Here they have split that 85% into 65.62 for AU local and 34.38 for AU local, SVU local. So now AU local candidates have these seats and this seats as well, along with the unreserved seats. Now the rest 15% of Siddhartha Medical College, everybody is eligible. So for us, it is very clear, for all the regions, there is an 85% that goes into their local alone, and for Siddhartha alone, there is a split between AU local and SVU local. This is a recent change in terms of percentages alone. 15% of seats in all the institutes will go into unreserved category. This is within whatever is available in government quota PG. We come back here. So now I am an AU region candidate. I am an AU local candidate. I am a candidate who is an AU local. I will be eligible for 85% of local seats in AU area, all those institutes. I will be eligible for 65.62 seats of AU area seats in Siddhartha. We know that those are local seats, correct? We mentioned that. And then 15% AP unreserved seats and 15% of unreserved seats in Siddhartha. All these I will be eligible. They are termed as AP unreserved, correct? Similarly, MBBS from SVU region, 15% AP unreserved, 85% SVU local, 85% SVU in Siddhartha, and 15% of unreserved seats. If I am an MBBS from Siddhartha, if I am AU local, then obviously I will be eligible for this seats. If I am SVU local, I will be eligible for this seats. So basically, both these, everybody is eligible for. This depends upon whether I am AU local or SVU local, right? That is next. Third, I am a non-local candidate. A non-local candidate is eligible only for unreserved seats in Siddhartha, ap.uhs seats. Basically, these are also ap.uhs seats only. ap.uhs seats in Siddhartha, you will be eligible for as far as your non-local is concerned. So, you will be eligible only for 15% of seats across. Everybody is eligible for this 15%, correct? All of them here. And local seats are only for local. So, that is how it works. Hope this clarifies. If you are still confused, all you need to do is look at your local seats and look at all the unreserved seats. That is it. If you are non-local, you are eligible only for unreserved seats. Now, automatically what happens in the registration form for Andhra Pradesh is that your MBBS status is taken from NB. Candidates are not able to change that. Some candidates would have made a mistake last year. Around 26 to 30 candidates made a mistake in mentioning where they did their MBBS in All India in NB exam registration. Later they could change it in Andhra Pradesh. Right now they are unable to change it. So there is a problem there, but we'll still come up with the demo today. You can represent in case you are in that category. You made a mistake there and you are unable to change it. Last year they were able to change it. Reservation in Andhra Pradesh. This is the reservation percentage in Andhra Pradesh. Last year, if you look at it, the reservation was around 20% for SC candidates. It was around 15% for SC candidates. That has been split now as 6.5, 7.5 and 1% for SC1, SC2 and SC3. This is a recent change through a GO recently. This has been implemented in MBBS as well. SC Group 1, SC Group 2 and SC Group 3 split is there. Rest of it is split accordingly and based on 50% is UR are open. No EWS reservation as of now. 5% horizontal reservation as for PWD candidates and 1/3 of seats are reserved for women candidates. So that is female reservation is available. You'll be able to see the seats mentioning female or FEM. Now, in-service reservation, see basically there has been a change here too. After in-service candidates represented, last year these numbers were changed. This year they have gone back to the original rule. 15% of clinical seats in these specialities alone will be available for in-service candidates because there is a need in these specialities is what the department mentions. So they are available for in-service candidates and 30% non-clinical seats are reserved for in-service candidates across all specialities. So 15% is in only these specialities are available. Last year this was 20, that was being modified. And for an in-service candidate, they should to be eligible for in-service is 2 years in tribal area or 2 years in rural area or 6 years in health services, etc. AB, PVP or AP Insurance or University of Health Sciences, you should have completed. No incentive marks are added. Only seats are reserved. These many seats are only for in-service candidates, exclusive for them. In-service candidates are eligible only for in-service seats. They are not eligible for non-service seats. They will not come in and compete in the rest of the seats. They should have leftover service of 10 years and should not have completed a PG degree already. If you have completed a PG diploma, then you might be able to do it only in the same specialty, and depending upon whether you have already done a PG diploma through in-service or not, the number of years you can do a PG diploma also varies, and if a degree also varies. If the candidate does not join service within 10 years, then the entire tuition fee and any other emoluments that you have gotten will have to be given back. Post completion, 10 years service is required. A penalty of 10 lakhs is applicable otherwise. Reservation is only for local candidates, it's not for other candidates. So basically you can't get reservation being another candidate, you should be a AP candidate. And then N.T.R, Dr. N.T.R, this is the application form. We'll have a look at the application details. You will have to get into this particular portal and you register with the basic details, NEET PG roll number, caste category, PWD status, etc. You will get an OTP and a login ID is sent through email and SMS. We have done this in detail in the demo. We'll share that in another hour or so. Login using the user ID sent and the password. You pay the required fee and then upload the signature, personal, MBBS and NEET PG details and submit. So there is required fee payment, might be a little later. Upload certificates as a PDF and print and save the application. Once you complete this, you can go through the demo for this entire information. You will have to keep looking at any verification information or remarks that have come in when you log in. If there is a verification remark, go to the portal and check that. If there is a verification remark saying, okay, you have to upload these certificates, please keep checking and upload the certificate so that your certificates are, your eligibility is not missed out. You are part of the merit list. After that, they will be publishing the merit list. There is a late fee too. Last year it was 20,000. So if you don't submit everything before the last date, then you will have to pay 20,000 to submit it again. So do it at the earliest, but wait for a day at least. Tomorrow you can do it, or day after tomorrow you can do it. Not before that, not on the last date, but you can do it any day after all the mistakes are corrected. They are correcting the mistakes one by one. Documents are images to be uploaded, passport size photo, image of signature, and documents to be uploaded as PDF. Complete online process. Forms or documents need not be sent anywhere. Now, if you look at the certificates required, we will go through the certificates required. The NEET PG, some of these certificates are required while you are actually uploading during admission. During admission, some of these certificates have not been asked. Otherwise, the rest of them you will upload as a PDF. During joining, you will take all these certificates mentioned. So that distinction is here. So please take note of that. But always be ready with every scan copy, or at least scan it and keep it with you for reference. All these mentioned in blue as mandatory for all the candidates. It is required for all the candidates. Rest of them depends upon whether you are eligible or not for those certificates. Whether it is required based on your eligibility. NEET PG admit card, currently not required. Later they will ask you to submit. NEET PG scorecard, remove the password protection and share the details. Date of birth proof, SSLC 10th standard certificate is required, can be given. Photo ID proof, current residential address needs to be mentioned, Aadhaar card or passport or voter ID with the current residential address. See, this does not define eligibility. Note that as long as you are local, that this does not define eligibility. CRRI completion certificate, temporary or permanent medical registration certificate from respective state medical council. That is required. Any state medical council registration is fine. You don't need to have an Andhra Pradesh registration. You can take it up later. MBBS study certificate. Note that many candidates ask what is an MBBS study certificate. Any certificate which mentions that you are a bona fide student of this batch and you studied in this institute from this year to this year. That is sufficient. You have a certificate which says that somewhere it says that I have studied from this year to this year. That is sufficient. You call it a bona fide certificate. You call it a pass certificate which has the details of your pass, that is also sufficient. So go ahead with any certificate which says you studied in that institute from this year to this year. MBBS degree certificate or provisional degree, candidate's passport size photo and signature are to be uploaded. Migration or transfer certificate from MBBS institute, that will be required. Here we have candidates have a difficulty because some candidates won't get a migration or a transfer certificate till you get the allotment. Institute won't give. Maharashtra doesn't give a migration certificate till you get an allotment. They'll give you a migration certificate saying you are migrating to this university only. Without knowing that, they will not give. So in that case, we call them every year, and N.T.R responds saying you upload a self affidavit. Later they might create an issue, but even as otherwise they will accept a self affidavit. Right now, what we would suggest is call N.T.R yourself, get a confirmation so that they are very clear that they have responded back to many candidates. They can't go back. Tell that, can I, they will suggest a self-affidavit. Otherwise, ask if I can upload a self-affidavit. Is it sufficient? You can upload a self-affidavit, just an affidavit saying to N.T.R I don't have a migration certificate. I will get it only after allotment. I will submit it later after admissions is what you need to mention. And then take a scan of it, and just in a white sheet, they take a scan of it and upload it. Study 6 to 12th study certificate is required. This is for those candidates who did MBBS from Siddhartha Medical College to claim local status. And non-local candidates, you will have to submit any one of these. 10-year study certificate. See, we said 10 years you should have resided in a particular place. Any study certificate is also sufficient. If it says Andhra Pradesh, a study certificate from your institute is also fine. Issued by the Mandal Revenue Officer is also fine, saying that you have studied here, or residence certificate issued by the Mandal Revenue Officer is also fine. So any study certificate is fine, or Mandal Revenue Officer issued revenue certificate is fine. Employment certificate of parents working in AP. These are candidates or spouses or employees. Any one of these is fine. Even if this is spouse's certificate, that is also fine. And if you are employed, your employment certificate in those undertakings, state government, etc., that is also fine. So these certificates are based on non-local status. Latest integrated permanent caste certificate is required, along with nativity, birth and community certificate is what it says. That might be required. You can just take that. A minority certificate if it is applicable. PWD certificate issued by the competent authority. Here we have some confusion. You can upload the certificates you have. They might call you for a verification and then later get that verified. Get your they'll possibly evaluate and then get you as part of the merit list under PWD category. In service candidates, you will have to get annexure 4A and annexure 4B printed and digitally signed local status certificate. This is not for all. If you are migrated from Telangana to AP, then for claiming that local status, you will have to provide this. But a digitally signed local status certificate, some candidates are finding it difficult. Talk to the revenue officer. We are also trying to figure out, but we are not sure how, how much time it will take, etc. Bond documents, annexure A for non-service and annexure B for in-service candidates. Right now, it is not required. It will be required only at the time of admissions. FMGs have to upload the screening certificate, FMG screening test certificate, and printout of the filled online application form has to be taken later. So out of all these three certificates, last three, obviously application form printout will be coming only after you apply. All these three you will need to take up later. Bond and printout of online application form and NEET PG admit card currently not required to be uploaded. Now application fee for Andhra Pradesh, 7,080 for OC and BC candidates and 5,900 for SC and ST candidates. This is for AP candidates, local candidates. Anybody who has done MBBS from AU or SVU regions or Siddhartha local, Siddhartha based AU SVU local, they are eligible for this particular, they'll be paying this particular fee. If you are outside AP, MBBS outside AP, how will they be eligible? Obviously, they will be eligible only as non-local. Any changes, please let us know, because we've gone through the GOs. This is how it has been last year. This is a minor change of 7 years criteria, but still this is how it has been even when the 7 years criteria was there previously. So you can always call us for any queries. If you have done your MBBS outside AP, then but from India, then you will have to pay 3,540. If you have done your MBBS outside AP but foreign, you have done your MBBS abroad, foreign medical graduates, 8,260 has to be paid as an equivalence fee. Payment can be made through these accounts. It includes GST. Tuition fee, government quota tuition fee is 30,000. Venkateshwara's is 1,75,000. But note that Venkateshwara has increased their stipend to around 95,000 or 96,000, I think. Private institute fee, this is CAT A fee for clinicals, 4.96 lakhs. There is a case going on, but still we don't see much of a change in CAT A clinicals. This is within Andhra Pradesh only. There hasn't been a change. Even the last 2023 batch issue, there it has been reduced to 3.85 lakhs, and that might still become a court case, but that is how it has been. Previously it was 4.4 or something, 4.35 or 4.4. There is a 15% increase now that has happened. So this might not change much. Cat B, Cat C, there might be an issue. We will take that up when we take up the management quota. Paraclinical, preclinical, this is the fee structure. Initially, when you are downloading the allotment letter, you will pay 23,600, and the rest of the fee will be paid at the institute. Penalty, resignation of joint seat after round 3 deadline. If you resign your joint seat anytime after round 3 deadline, you will pay 3.54 lakhs, 3 lakhs plus 18% GST, and the stipend you have received till that point in time. You resign 1 month later, 1 month stipend you have received, you will also pay that amount. This will also result in debarment anytime after round 3 deadline ends. Now, service bond penalty. Service bond and penalty we will look at. AP government quota for non-service candidates and candidates allotted through AAQ. What is the service bond? Except Sri Venkateshwara. Venkateshwara is a separate institute, autonomous institute, that will have a separate service bond. No bond in AP for all India quota candidates. 1 year 40 lakhs for state quota candidates. So state quota is state government quota. These are in government institutes and in AP. Only for the government seats of AP. Now, service bond and SVAMS for all candidates, including candidates allotted through all India. 1 year service bond, penalty of 40 lakhs plus GST that you need to pay. In-service candidates are exempted. In-service candidates, in case you go for selected for DMMCH, then you would be exempted. Service bond for in-service candidates, 10 years or 50 lakhs plus stipend received. So in case you don't join service, quit service at a later point in time without completing 10 years, then you will have to pay this amount. Course discontinuation penalty is 3.54 lakhs plus stipend paid till then. Debarred for 3 years. Course discontinuation penalty in SVAMS is 5 lakhs plus stipend paid. Government institutes, the stipend has been increased 60,800 to 64,000, and in SVMS Tirupati, stipend is 96,000. So obviously, if you look at it, your fee structure for SVMS might be 1.75 lakhs and may come to around 2 to 2.5, including everything. But your stipend goes up by another 3.5 lakhs. So that is a big 36,000 per month, even up to 4 lakhs per month compared to this. So please don't look at the fee alone, also look at the stipend. That is why we have everything in a tabular format in the portal in Zynet. Don't make decisions just assuming something. Each institutes, there are 3-4 anomalies in many states where the stipend is different and than the actual government stipend. Some are autonomous institutes, some are institutes which give 0 stipend for non-clinicals. So please look at every seat and then take a call. Zynet will have all the information. Thanks for watching. In case you have any queries, you can always let us know. You can call us on this number too. This is the number 08069 063 6000. You can always call us on this number. We will be able to help you out. If you are a subscriber, you will directly land to a subscriber helpline and you will get answers to all the queries throughout the counseling. On the registration too, we will be able to help you out. Thanks a lot for watching.